Organic chemistry basics. Organic molecules are compounds that are made up of a chain of carbon atoms. These organic compounds are classified into groups according to their chemical characteristics. These groups are called a homologous series, and the chemical characteristics are based on certain atoms called the functional group. Functional groups have special features that give the compounds different properties. The main homologous series are alkanes, alkenes, alkynes, haloalkanes, alcohols, carboxylic acids, esters, aldehydes, and ketones. The alkanes are recognized by their single bonds between carbon atoms. These single bonds mean that the carbon atoms are already bonded to the maximum number of atoms, and therefore we can say that alkanes are saturated. The word saturated means full. The carbon atoms are full of single bonds. Alkenes are carbon atom chains that contain double bonds between carbon atoms. The double bond means that one of them can break. The two carbon atoms now have room to bond to an additional atom. We say that alkanes are unsaturated. In the same way, alkynes, that contain carbon-carbon triple bonds, are also able to bond to additional atoms if the triple bond breaks. Alkynes are thus also unsaturated. Unsaturated compounds undergo reactions more easily than saturated compounds because they do not require much energy to break parts of these bonds. Because there are so many electrons in the bond, this makes them attractive to other molecules that need electrons to become stable. A halogen is an atom from group 17, or group 7 on older periodic tables. Halogens, chlorine, bromine, iodine, fluorine, are represented by an X in organic chemistry. When an alkane has a halogen on the chain, we say that it belongs to the homologous series haloalkanes. The alcohols are a homologous series classified by the hydroxyl functional group. The hydroxyl group is an OH group on the carbon chain. When the hydroxyl group is on a carbon atom that is only joined to one carbon atom, or it's at the end of a chain, it's called a primary alcohol. A secondary alcohol shows the hydroxyl group attached to a carbon atom in the middle of a chain joined by two carbon atoms. Tertiary alcohols follow the same pattern, but the carbon atom is now joined to three others. These are very rare. Carboxylic acids also contain a hydroxyl group, but they have a carbonyl group on the same carbon. Together we call this functional group a carboxyl group. The hydrogen atom on these is easily donated, giving them an acidic reactivity. Esters are oily substances that are identified by a carbonyl group as well as an oxygen atom joining two carbon chains. It's also a carboxyl group, but the biggest difference is that the hydrogen is replaced by a carbon atom or chain. To name an ester, we start with the side that came from the alcohol. This side does not have a double bond O. We name this side as it is an alkyl group. We have 2 carbons, and so it becomes ethyl. The side that comes from the carboxylic acid has a double bond O. This side has 3 carbons, so it becomes a propanoate. The ester's name is ethyl propanoate. Aldehydes are compounds with a carbonyl group on a terminal carbon, meaning at the end of the carbon chain. Ketones have a carbonyl group in the middle of the carbon chain. As a result of the position of the carbonyl, the reactivity of these chemicals changes too.